Okay, guys, welcome back to the Ami Athletics podcast. We got a lot to talk about today, and we actually have a very specific and interesting topic to talk about. We're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna cut all the fat out, and we're really because we have a guy who's over here we can say is on a mission.
Mission, huh?
Mission. Okay, we're gonna say that
My
he's
wife's on a mission.
your wife, your wife. Hey, it's all
one thing,
it's
huh?
all one thing. We're
Before
saying,
we get to that, can we just say welcome back, Ari Nisanov?
Yeah.
Welcome back to your hiatus
thank you
for 3 weeks.
I
We missed you over here.
I said I'm only doing this podcast if you're coming.
Well, I'm back. I'm here. I'm here because when I heard that that you're coming on, and mainly the reason that you're coming on, I thought it was very, very important to talk about. I think it's something, I think it's something that is extremely important in every community. I think it's extremely important in our community, especially because of, for lack of a better word, we do need more guidance. And what you're coming here to preach kind of leans into that about structure, guidance as a community, and I think that is extremely important. So anybody listening, you got to listen to the end because this might change your life. Welcome, Shlomi Elishaev.
Thank you for having me, guys, here today. It's a pleasure to be here. Rabbi Zeno, thank you for coming. Ariel, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. Zaki, much love for you on your raking.
I appreciate that.
Hopefully you can
Surprisingly.
surprise me today with a little bit better rakings on our beautiful light green team.
So what do you do during the day for people who don't know?
For everybody who doesn't know, during the day, I sell jewelry. I work on 47th Street.
At night?
At night, I sing at nights. I sing in chuppahs. I do chazanut in chuppahs. I'm a cantor. I don't sing the whole wedding, only the chuppah. This is not an advertisement. This is just me.
So if someone wanted to hire you for the dancing
You're
part,
not hiring me for the dancing. There's no way.
nobody could afford you.
My shlom bayit is more important than me.
Hey, talk nice to me, yo.
People almost fell off. My shlom bayit is more important
So
than
you don't sing for the whole wedding?
No, for what?
I remember my wedding, you sang the whole wedding.
Maybe because my wife came as a guest. Could be.
Or maybe he wasn't married yet.
Or maybe I wasn't married
I
yet.
don't think you were married.
How long you
yet.
married?
8 years.
I'm married 7 years, so I wasn't married
He
yet.
wasn't married yet. Okay,
So what's it called? So what are you taking upon yourself?
Now, what am I taking upon myself? Well, I'll tell you what it is. Whatever, we all go through our struggles, this and that. What happened? Come closest to the mic?
Yeah.
I talk loud enough for everyone to hear me, don't worry.
Whatever. Okay.
Okay, so everybody has their own struggles in life, and thank God everything is great now for everybody. And my wife really felt like she got some type of calling from God, and she wants to really help people. She feels like she came into my family and she sees how much help we give to this community. She felt like she has to give something back to the community because everything has been going great for her, and she.
Interesting. So it's not coming.
It's not coming from me.
No, meaning for her, it's not coming from a place of pain. It's coming from a place of like, wow, I'm put in this position.
Yeah.
And I have all these tools I got to utilize.
Yeah.
it.
She's inspired.
Well, it did start where we were helping somebody in their shlom bayit, and she really felt like she made a very, very, very big impact in that person's shlom bayit.
No way.
Yeah, 100%. And she felt like she needs to help people, and she wants to help people. So I said, why not? I'm a supporting husband. So no problem. You want to help people? Let's do it. I have the platform to help people.
What does she want to do?
What does she want to do? She wants to be a shadchanit. She wants to connect people together. All right.
So I have a very specific question for
No
you.
problem.
מה נשתנה השחנית הזה מכל השטחנות?
No, 100%. I'll give you an answer.
Okay, for anyone who doesn't speak Hebrew,
For everyone who
what's the
doesn't-
difference between
the
this
difference?
shadchan and the rest of the
All right.
shadchanim?
Here's the difference. This is one thing I was thinking about today when I was coming here. I knew you were going to ask me this question, so I'll tell you. I believe that the idea of a person going to a shadchanit or to a shadchan, the person who is looking for love, or the person that's looking for a relationship, he feels like all these shadchanim, they're going to send you their resume. You look at this guy's resume, you look at that guy's resume. They're just looking for religious people. And there's a lot of deep things that they cannot get into with these shadchanim, and they feel very scared to open up about specific topics. So where is my wife different in this? My wife doesn't, most of all the shadchanim today, most of them are all very religious, right? So their list of people that they have.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that, not to cut you off, because the reason why, it's because it's supply and demand. Most non-religious people don't go to a shadchan.
So we have to change that. We have to.
Okay, but I'm just saying it's a supply and demand issue.
So why would
That leads to
a
the main question.
why would a person need a shadchan versus not?
All right.
I think that's what
So-
it gets down to.
Today, You have this Shidduch crisis, they're saying. They're saying that for every 4 girls, there's one guy. Did you hear about this?
I mean, that's more in the Ashkenazi community.
They're saying that everywhere. I don't believe it.
No, because I mean, I could break it down for you numbers wise why that is, but in the Bukharian community, statistically, we struggle with that less. In the Ashkenazi community, Ashkenazim start dating later.
Right.
Okay, so it turns into a numbers game.
I don't know about the numbers game. I don't know about this, but let me just explain to you why I think the best thing to do is to go to a shadchanit. A single guy is scrolling through his Instagram.
Yes.
He's complaining there's no girls out there. I'm trying to get married. I can't find myself, this and that. I'm looking for a girl. I want to start a family. I want to have a relationship with somebody. What does he do? He sees a girl on Instagram and he's like, how do I reach out to this girl? What's he going to do? Send her a DM? Hey, are you from Tennessee because you're the only 10 I see? Or did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Or are you Jamaican because you making me crazy? You know, like it does. You can't do that.
DMs don't work. Okay.
DMs don't work. So what happens here?
But one second, there are people who got married through DMs.
I understand, but it's very, very small percentage of people getting married through DMs.
Seems like he has
And
a lot of
also now, okay,
experience with
maybe you could also go through DMs. But what happens when you go through DMs? You text the girl. The girl says, "Okay, fine, let's get to know each other." For the first month and a half, you're trying to figure out if this girl is even a serious girl. If she's even a serious candidate for marriage. You're trying to figure out, is she looking even for marriage, or is she just looking to fool around, and vice versa.
And vice
for the
versa.
guy.
And vice versa.
100%. You're trying to figure out, is this guy really trying to start a relationship, really wants to start a family, really wants to be a somebody with me, and wants to really have a connection, or does he have commitment issues?
Okay.
So when you go to shadchanit, you come to a shadchanit or to a shadchan, and you come and tell him, listen, this is who I am. And my wife filled out a beautiful form. She came out with a very interesting question. She came out with a question, for example, do you keep Shabbat? And it's a multiple choice.
Yeah, but what if I say, what does it matter if I keep
Wait a
Shabbat?
second, there's a multiple choice question. There's a multiple choice answer. So one of the multiple choices, yes, I keep Shabbat and I go to shul.
Okay, one second, Shlomi, I understand this, but I want to cut you off for a second. What if what if I tell you, what does it matter if I keep Shabbat in terms of how my let me get married? Okay,
Because
do I drink water?
All right, first of all, you have...
One second, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I agree with this, but I want to bring out a point. That's all I'm doing. But yeah, keep going.
There's a big importance to have one of the main reasons where you have a shadchan or a shadchanit is because it's important. You don't go out with someone because you think the girl is pretty or the guy's handsome or whatever it is. It's not the goal. You don't do that and then figure out, hey, can I marry this person? When you're going into a business partnership with someone, you do a lot of research, make a lot of phone calls beforehand, of course.
Right.
I'm not going to start selling merchandise to a guy and say, oh, let's see where this goes. Maybe this person will work out and maybe I'll sell more. It doesn't make any sense. You first do a lot of research.
100%.
You have to make sure it aligns with your vision, with their vision. It's going to be well. They're a trustworthy person. The point of people think that, oh, if I use a shadchan, it's because I cannot get another girl the conventional American way.
True.
Or I can't get a guy that way. No, if you're making a smart decision, you want to be prepared. You want to make sure you have advanced knowledge of the situation.
Exactly.
Right?
Wouldn't you want to go into something, sorry to cut you off, wouldn't you want to go into something knowing that girl or that guy is really actually, imagine going on a date and you don't have to figure out, is this something serious or am I really going on a date? And, you know,
so one second.
want to start a
100%, I
relationship.
agree.
It's make paper. It makes sense on paper.
It makes sense on paper.
So why do you think a lot of, I mean...
One second, I'm okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Let me just finish.
Yeah.
In the religious communities, this is what you're going to before, supply and demand. In religious communities, especially very religious communities, let's say you go to Lakewood, Yeshiva, nobody dates without shadchan.
Yes.
That's unheard of,
Yes.
right? You don't do that at all.
Yes.
You're not just running around trying to pick up a girl. You go through a shadchan, whatever. In the not so religious world, people look at going through a shadchan as a little bit weird, as like you're a loser, like what are you doing? Like there's no benefit.
Desperate type of...
Desperate. So is there a reason for that, and how do we change that?
Okay, so 1 second. So I want to address something really clearly that you guys are touching on, but I just want to use one word to really pinpoint it. Is that the Shidduch system is a filtration process. That's all it is. Meaning it's like, I mean, theoretically speaking, it's like going to a restaurant in some sense of like, okay, it's instead of asking what you want to eat, it's like, okay,
right in front of
it's right in front of you, meaning that's where the resume comes from. You already know more or less, okay, I don't want to date a dog, I don't want to date a cat, I don't want to date a lion, whatever it is.
That's why you asked the question about why is Shabbat important. Of course Shabbat is important. How can I set up a girl who completely doesn't keep Shabbat with a guy who keeps Shabbat?
Right, so
how?
That's actually what I was trying to get at, of why is it important, because
of course it's important.
Because it's a filtration process, and they say that statistically speaking,
with this filtration process that you're talking about, my multiple choice questions have very interesting answers. Do you keep Shabbat? One answer was, I keep Shabbat and I go to shul. Second answer was, I keep the traditions of Shabbat meals, but I don't keep Shabbat. So you already know that that person in his heart, he has space for growth. Why? Because he is actually having the meals on Shabbat, for the dinner and the lunch. That means that they have place to go. It's like a person who wants to put on tefillin, right? Sometimes he doesn't want to put on tefillin, but he in his heart, he knows, I want to put on tefillin, but his Yetzer Hara tells him, don't put on tefillin. You understand? But he in his heart, in his soul knows, I have to put on tefillin.
Yeah, but those are the hardest
Same
guys
thing-
or girls.
But those are the
whatever, to
best
set up.
guys. Those are the best guys.
Like, I'm not saying best or worst.
People who have space to grow, people who know that they want to grow, and people who want to just be better, those are the best guys
Like,
to
it's
grow.
not, I want. You're right. I just want to nitpick on your words for a second. Those aren't the best guys. It's funny. I was just speaking to my Rebbe on the way here. One of the foundational criteria in getting married to someone, guy or girl. So I asked him. I said, "What are 3 characteristics that a girl should look for in a guy and a guy should look for in a girl?" He said the common denominator in both of them, and if the person doesn't have it, he says it's Yirei Shamayim. But what does Yirei Shamayim mean in terms of practicality? Yirei Shamayim means exactly what you
I
said. In terms of a person who wants to go, he's like, I don't care if the person is Rav Kanievsky, I don't care if the person is Rav Avadia, if the person, or if the girl is Robinson Kanievsky, if the person looks at themselves in the mirror and says, I'm good the way I am, take me the way I am, that person is not ready to get married.
Nope.
Okay, this is according to Rav Bloy, this is according to my Rebbe, this is not my opinion, so if you're not ready to
have
get...
people like that who are 80 years old. I don't know if it's ready
But
to get
this
married.
is-
It's just
that's-
the person
that's-
is going to have a hard time growing in life.
Even married people, that's one of the main reasons why people get divorced today. Because of ego.
Why should I change for him? What have they done?
Why
for me
should I
lately?
change for him? What should I do for him? What did he do? What do you mean, why should I change for him? You have, let's say, 3, 4 children with this person. For example, a guy, he always feels like he's the victim in this relationship. He always feels like what were you telling me before the podcast? He feels like...
A victim. He feels like used. He feels like
he's used
He's
and
not
then-
valued.
Susan, let me ask you a question. You go to work for 12 hours a day. There's a woman in your house who's making breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the 3 people that you love the most, the 3 kids that you love more than your own parents. That's the backbone of your family, dealing with this whole thing that you have. How can you not love this person? How can you have an ego when it comes to this person? And this is one of the main issues that we have today. Everybody feels like, oh, I pay the bills at home. I'm the boss. No, you know what a man is? That's not a man. A man is not a person who curses in Bahrain and says, do this.
There's 2 doors and 8 windows to this house. Which one you want to go through?
That, you can leave it. That's not a man.
Right.
That is not a man.
That's a trauma
man-
response, Rabbi. I'm sorry.
A man is a person who supports.
I'm sorry you even know that joke.
A man is a person who supports his wife emotionally, physically, mentally, and is a leader in the house. That's a man.
He delivers.
And a person who delivers, a person who shows a beautiful example to his son and to his daughters. Tomorrow, a girl wants to get married, a daughter wants to get married. You have to ask yourself, do I want my daughter to marry a guy like me? If your answer is no, that means you need to change yourself. 100%. Tomorrow, your daughter, Bezat Hashem, all of our daughters and sons get married. When they go out on their dates and they want to go out with a guy, what are they looking for? They're looking for the guy that they saw their whole life. Their father, that's what they're looking for. And the same thing with a guy. When a guy is going on a date, he's looking for a guy just like even if his mom is always going to be the best. He
Yes.
thinks his mom's cooking
Yes.
is the best.
Yes.
The bach
Yes.
tastes like a rock. It's hard.
Yes,
It's not a
yes,
bach.
yes.
His mom makes the best bach.
Yes.
You understand? So that is how you have to live. You need to always prioritize yourself, make yourself mentally strong, and you have to know how to be a leader in the house. A leader is not cursing. A leader is not being tough. It's using all these Bukharian mentality, old school primitive mentality. It doesn't work. Whatever our parents went through with the immigration, when they immigrated from Russia, whatever they went through, the hardship they went through, we can understand them. But we need to change as a community.
Right.
And we need to understand the way that our fathers and our mothers were brought up. That's not the way we're supposed to be brought up today. We need
Right.
to be a supportive husband to a wife. I blame all the husbands.
All the
Husbands
Okay.
need to support their wives. It needs to be there for a wife because a woman, she thinks with emotions. A man thinks with his head. So if all you know is how to get into that girl's emotions, if you know how to get into her heart properly, you'll have her forever.
So I'll tell you something very interesting. That
You
my
agree
Rebbe-
with me or no?
I more than agree with you.
Okay.
I mean, it's not me. My Rebbe agrees with you because I was asking him. I said, listen, what's the number one characteristic a person, a guy should look for in a girl, and a girl should look for in a guy? I asked him for 3, but I'm gonna just narrow it down to 1. So he said the most important one for a girl. Well, he said 2. 2 important ones for a girl is that one, that she is a growth-oriented person, like you said, that she understands that there's room to grow, and number 2 is that emotionally she's snua, meaning she's not whatever. Use your imagination, okay? And I don't mean that in a physical way.
Emotionally, that's very
Emotionally,
Behavior,
emotionally,
behavior,
it's no.
behavior.
Because we all know women that dress not sneers, but emotionally they're the most sneers girls, right? And then we know
You have a religious people who dress very tznius,
Yeah, my
but
wife,
not
she's
tznius
not
at all.
She doesn't come from a religious background.
so.
But for her to wear something open is very uncomfortable. But I say, you don't come from a religious background like at all. Like the parents don't keep Shabbat. I love my in-laws to death. They're the best. But like they don't keep Shabbat. But for her, it's just uncomfortable to like be provocative in front of people. You understand?
Right.
Right.
And so and
So-
I understand that's where you're coming
So
from. I get it.
so that, and not me. This is not my opinion. This is my Rebbe's opinion, Rav Loy. So and then he said that's for a girl, and then for a guy, he says that it's very important. Number one, that he has also room to grow, and number two, what he said is that he has to be connected to a source, and this is going to play into what you really were saying, and this is really important. Really, not connected. It is what you're saying, but I'm just going to expound on it a little bit more because there's a lot of confusion. Okay, and whoever is listening, please make this a little bit louder. Okay. There's a lot of confusion into what it takes to run a home. It's not my opinion. Now, what my Rebbe says is that the guy has to be connected to a source. Now, he said, obviously, Torah, right? Because what happens is, like you said, the guy runs the home in the sense of the guy is the backbone. Now, there's science to back this up. A guy is more competitive in nature. He has higher testosterone levels. He's the one who has to go out to hunt, to war, for a parnasa. So therefore, because of that testosterone, he has stronger values and stronger visions. Naturally, women have higher cortisol levels, which is linked to higher anxiety, but they also have more of a nurturing perspective. They're prone to, because they have babies, they're prone to be more patient or whatever it is, scientifically, whatever it is. Anyways, so for the guy, in terms of the guy, it's very important that the guy has a source that he's connected to, because if he doesn't have a source, if he doesn't go to shul, if he's not learning, if he doesn't have a Rebbe, if he doesn't have a mentor, Rebbe, connected to Torah, then he comes home with whatever he saw on Instagram that day, whatever reel he saw, he goes, look, the girl says that, the guy says to have a happy marriage, you got to pour water on your head. You're a moron. You're a moron. Or he could say, listen, it says in Pirkei Avos, or it says in your ksuba that you have to do X, Y, and Z for your wife, and the wife has to do X, Y, and Z for your husband. You're rooted somewhere. You can't just sit there on the train and say, hey, every time I punched the wall, my wife was nicer to me. So therefore now I should punch a wall. You're an idiot. You're not based in any intellectual thought at all. You have to be connected to a source. So my Rebbe was saying, find a guy who's going to shul, who has a Rebbe, even if he's not religious, even if he bows down to Buddha, it doesn't matter. As long as he's connected to a Torah source, and he has a Rebbe, and he has a mentor, and he has a backbone
100%.
of some kind of Torah backbone that is telling him, hey, don't throw a pen at your wife. Hey, don't, steal. Don't, all these kind of things. That is, in my Rebbe's opinion, the most important characteristic in a guy in terms of
Very
shidduch.
nice.
100%.
100%.
I have a question for you, Rabbi. We spoke about this, the Bukharian situation with using the Shidduch, the negativity associated with going through a shadchan. What is your opinion? What do you think we need to do to get it more normal and not looked down upon to go through a shadchan?
Very important question. This has to do with a lot more than just shidduchim. It has to do with why do people not have rebbeim at all in general? Why do people not have someone that they feel that they should answer to? And that, number one, especially in our community, I said this last time in any podcasts we had here, our people, our community is very, very loves to be behind closed doors, and they're very embarrassed type. Oh, I don't want to say anything. I don't want people to know. Listen, Habibi, you're drowning. No, it's okay. I can manage. And then mamash, it's like till their nose. And then, okay, Rabbi, yeah. I owe $600,000. I don't know what to do now, Rabbi. Can you help me? Oh, Rabbi, my wife already left to her mom's house. We're about to get divorced. Like it's horrible. Come fix it. Why didn't you call me the week before and 6 months ago? And when the problem was small, oh, I was embarrassed. No, I don't know. That's a big problem. That's a very big mistake. You need to get help. You need to get help. You can't hide it, because at the end, only you suffer from that. And the second thing is, there's a lot of lack of trust. People think first of all they know better, and people think that the other person has some other agenda behind it, And that skepticism, you have to connect to good people and learn to live and let live. Have trust in Hashem that Hashem will send you the proper shaliach. This week's parasha, the same thing. Is Korach saw a vision, right? That Shmuel Navi is going to come from him. He's like, I could go against Moses. No problem. Who says Moses is the leader? Look at my generations are going to come out of me. I'm a righteous person. And he didn't realize that why is Shmuel and Navi going to come from him? Because the sages say that through Korach fighting Moses and the earth swallowing Korach and showing him how he was wrong, that made a huge Kiddush Hashem to the whole Jewish people that Moses is the chosen leader. The zechut of that Kiddush Hashem is what made him have Shmuel Navi as a grandson. Just like Haman, it says in the Gemara that his grandchildren were learning Torah in Bnei Brak. Why are they learning Torah in Bnei Brak? What zechut they have? The Gemara says in Megillah that Haman made everybody do more teshuvah than all the prophets combined. Why? Because his harsh decrees scared everybody. Oh, we got to do teshuvah. Look what's going to happen to us. So in the end, he was horrible, but he had some zechut. So those grandchildren came from him.
Crazy. Even if you try to do bad and good comes out of it, you get rewarded.
Exactly. And Korach thought, I'm righteous. That's why Shmuel Navi is going to come for me. He was wrong. He was too smart for his own good. He didn't realize because you're going to be going through demise, that's why your children have the zechut of Kiddush Hashem. They're going to be Shmuel and Navi. So you see how everybody today, I'm sorry to say, machmadono. Everybody's 100% machmadono. They think they know everything. They think, I know better than my parents. I know better than the rabbi. I know better than Shadchanim. Why did I need the Shadchanim to tell me? And you know how many times I see guys, why'd you throw away this girl? Oh, she's a 7 out of 10. I think I get a 10 out of 10. Looks-wise. Oh, I think I could do better. Oh, there's a lot of fish in the sea. I know a guy, he went out with the first girl he went out with. She's perfect for him. You can't marry the first girl you go out with, Rabbi. Come on, you know that.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. People have that. There's a thing, like with even people who like to use a shadchan, they say, I'm going to go out, and you say, are
Just
you
to
ready
try
to get
it.
married?
Just to try it.
They say, no, I'm not ready to get married, but I need to break the ice.
I think they just have the wrong ideas and the wrong vision.
And what is all that? What is all that? It's coming from being too smart for yourself, too smart for your own good. You have to learn to be humble, to be simple, look at people greater than you and say, listen, you know more than me, and I'm going to listen to you. And today we have so much information, we have so much technology, we think, I'm self-sufficient. And Hashem will show you, this is the way it's been, our Masorah for thousands of years. You need Moshe Rabbeinu, you need the leaders, you need your parents, you need people older than you, and learn to listen. Don't be gardan tachteh, because in the end, your stiff neck is gonna crack, and then you're gonna come crying anyways in the end. So that's
so
what
funny. You have that with the Z League also. You have these young players coming in, and you tell them like, yo, you gotta pass the ball, we gotta build your team, you gotta trust all 5 guys, and these young guys like, yo, let me cook this guy. I know what I'm doing. I'm a baller, and it doesn't work out.
It also, I'm saying, and I want to get back to what you were saying. It also, like you were saying, it comes from a lack of trust. I was speaking to somebody and I was telling them, why don't you go to a shadchan? And they're like, yo, bro. Well, you think they're going to give me the cream of the crop? They're going to, they still live in Uzbekistan. They're going to hold the good guy or the good girl under the table and they're going to give me whatever's left over.
Yeah. You are looking for a wife. You have to look for a girl with midot tovot. You have to look at her mother.
So people are scared that the shadchan or the shadchanim are holding the good or bad guy or good
That's
or
not true.
good
Why would
guys
you want to set someone up with somebody who they're gonna
So I just want you to address that because that's something that a lot of old school parents in Bukharians have that. So what would you say to those parents that have that mentality of the shadchan's not going to give me the cream of the crop? He's gonna.
Why would they not do that? What is it in for them?
What do you mean?
Because
why
maybe they want to?
Why would they not? What? Why would they not give you the bad?
Because maybe they have a niece or nephew that isn't shidduchim.
Close friends,
son, daughter.
I personally think. Listen, I don't know the Bukharian dating world, but from what I heard, it just seems like most young Bukharians do not go to a shadchan until 2, 3, 4 years into the dating,
because they see it's difficult for them.
And then the stigma associated is these are the rejects. These are desperate. So nobody's gonna want to jump in.
That's actually
that's a big problem.
So
when in yeshiva dating,
they go
right away you go into a shadchan. So there's no question of is this person a reject or not. This is the way to go.
So my wife started this shadchan page like 3 days ago, and I already have like 50 people who signed up, applicants.
What is it called?
On the forms? It's called Brilliant Matchmaking by Michelle.
Wow.
Can I give one piece of advice though?
Yes.
And I'm going to interject and I'm going to get a little personal with you. Make sure you and your wife's shidduch process.
Very confidential.
No, obviously very confidential. But goes through, has Das Torah.
100%.
Has a Rav.
As I was saying.
Whenever something gets sticky, you guys have an appointed Rav, whether it's Rabbi this, Rabbi X,
I think we're going to use Rabbi Zeno. Huh?
Rabbi Zeno.
Rabbi Zeno, what do you think?
Rabbi Z.
You live 2 blocks away from me. If I have any questions, I run to you.
Don't come to him
knock my
after
door.
the problem
Don't
starts.
come to him before.
No,
Whatever.
so-
Okay, so now tell us why your wife and your shadchan
Before I get to that, why
sets you guys apart? Yeah.
why you asked me that question? Before I get to that, I want to say whatever you guys said about the people think that when you go to shadchan they have all the leftovers. So you guys have to give me why from the 50 applicants that I had yesterday, maybe 60% of them were all 19 to 21-year-old girls.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
girls generally are more serious about getting married than
I
guys
understand.
are.
Shlomi, they say today there's no girls.
I understand. No, they say today there's no guys.
Oh, there's no guys.
You understand? So
So there is a shidduch crisis.
there's not a shidduch crisis. The guys that have an ego, they don't want to sign up. They don't want to sign up because they're like, oh,
You're
what are you
saying the
gonna
issue
do?
is the guys.
The issue is the guys, exactly. They're
Guys,
looking-
sign
the
up.
problem is these guys they're all looking for sorry, Rabbi, Megan Foxes. Everyone's looking for Megan Fox.
Shotokai Megan Fox.
Doesn't matter. So
He's still living from.
you have
2010.
to remember, guys, every single guy has what's the word I'm looking for? Desires, right?
Okay.
As a taiva, right? No matter how beautiful your wife is, you marry the most beautiful girl in the world. Eventually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on
You
the
take it for
podcast.
granted. Take it
You
for
take
granted.
it for granted, and you start
looking
always
elsewhere.
looking
say.
elsewhere. You know, the grass is always going to be greener on the other side.
right.
So whatever you guys are trying to do in your dating life, looking for the most beautiful girl in the world, eventually she's not going to be so beautiful for you anymore. Because the girl, the
They had
neighbor's
to
always
get-
going to look better than her.
They give
You understand?
birth, you know.
They give birth, they have babies, this and that, you know, and they don't want to put on makeup every single day. They don't want to
Right,
get their hair
right.
done every single day.
And
you
even
know?
if she is the most beautiful girl in the world, if she's not a great personality and someone's
Yeah.
looking to grow, she's gonna make
Right.
you
100%.
miserable.
So when you're dating, you're supposed to be attracted to her 100%.
I mean, so it
That's not
depends.
the main
No,
thing.
but it depends
The
on what
main
perspective.
thing-
You're supposed to be attracted to her.
Midot. The rabbi
but-
tells midot tovot.
but the
most
majority-
important thing. Midot brings its own beauty. It has inner beauty. Midot. When
So
someone
it seems like there's an education crisis amongst Bukharian men.
100%. Exactly. 100%.
So it seems like there's an education crisis with Bukharian men.
Yes.
We have to educate them on. Listen, you're 19 years old now. You want to start dating. Don't just go have fun for a year and a half. Don't just look for a girl who's beautiful. You got to have your priorities in check. Don't wait till you're married with one kid and realize, hey, you know what? I wish I had a wife who had good midot.
Exactly.
You know,
want a
they
girl
say
who's
this is-
extremely beautiful but doesn't know how to raise children.
There's a
doesn't
lot
know
of
how to cook.
They say statistically there's a lot of couples that get divorced after all the kids. It's called empty nest syndrome, right? After all the kids get divorced, after the parents
Kids get
are-
married.
I'm sorry, after the kids get married. Yeah, after all the kids get married, and now it's just a husband and wife, and they kind of look at each other like, listen, we've been so busy raising the kids. They look at each other like we don't actually get along,
Right.
right? So yeah, theoretically, getting married to have kids is a good thing, but I just want to take that and put it into the attraction thing. That if you're looking at a girl and you're hyper focused on attraction, that means you're making sex a big part of your marriage.
Big problem.
You will end up
Drowning.
Shlomi, there's one more thing before we move on to the basketball I wanted to mention. Dessler says that in America taught us wrong. In America, they taught us Bill of Rights. I have the right to this, I have the right to that, right to vote, right to bear arms, right to freedom of speech, all that stuff, freedom of religion. Yeah, everything in America is I'm owed. You know, like got a stop sign, and like everyone's like, no, it's my right of way. No, I'm going. You know, everybody's focused on the self. And he says the Torah never says you have the right not to be stolen from. You have the right not to be killed. It says do not kill, do not steal. Focus on what you have to do to yenem, to the other person. Imagine husband says, what do I have to do today? Rav Slanter used to come to his mezuzah, stand there and like meditate. His students thought he's doing like some kabbana or something, like some deep mystical kabbalistic thing. He's like, no, I'm just reminding himself, this is my next job. My job at work ended. Now it's my next job to be a husband, a father, and I'm psyching myself up to do it, you know? And a lot of times we have to focus on what is my job? What do I have to do? And how do I deliver it? And the wife has to have the same agenda, you know? What do I have to do as a wife? What do I have to deliver? And everybody will get what they need. I do Shalom Bayit a lot. And what do I, this is the scenario that happens. They sit in front of me. What's your problem? She doesn't do this. She doesn't do that. She doesn't do it. Why should I change for someone who's not working on themselves? And then, okay, so the wife, what's your problem? He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do this. Everybody knows exactly what the other person needs to do. And they forget what they have
need to do.
And then they say, all right, why should I change? The other one's not changing. And they're always looking somewhere else. The Shon Bar Yochai says that God gave us two eyes. Well, the right eye is to see the good in others. The left eye is to see the bad in ourselves. People got it twisted. They got it twisted. And they have to do the opposite. Introspect, focus
Usually
on.
once you work on yourself, your spouse will start being
Right.
a little bit more open-minded.
But you know what
work on
happens?
themselves
It's
also.
contagious.
But you know what happens?
Very
Rabbi
contagious, yeah.
Shalom Arush says in his books, he says that a woman is a mirror to a man, and a man is a woman to
Mirror.
mirror to a woman. Meaning the way the man is going to treat his wife, 99% of the time, the wife is going to treat him back
Right.
the same way.
Yeah.
But what do people say? Why should I be a loser and be the first one to work on myself? Let them be the first
Bro,
one. Let them make the first
Why
move.
is that a loser?
You're not a
Because they
loser.
think that I'm too good and I deliver too much for me to succumb to her first, to
Then
bring
you have to
myself
think-
down.
then you have
It's
to-
ego.
then you
It's
have to
ego.
think
Yeah,
about
but
your
you're being
children.
smart. You think about yourself.
Think about your
Right.
children.
You're gonna be happy if you have a successful marriage,
Right.
right? You are gonna be selfish and work on yourself.
But-
Working on yourself. Sorry, guys. When you work on yourself, it's the most selfish thing you can do because
Right.
the person who will be the most happiest is you.
Right. It's an investment. But
It's an
listen,
investment.
But listen, today you have people who could be business partners. You have people who could be best friends. They have a little dispute, and one is not willing to ask mechila first from the other one. No, let him call me. Let him apologize first. Let him say something first. And people do it to each other in marriages.
Yes,
Let him work on himself first. Let her work on herself first. And then
Great
it
point,
just
Rabbi.
goes and goes and goes. Ego, ego, ego. There's a famous video, with Rav Sternbach. I think you saw this. Alav Shalom, where the guys came and they asked the rabbi, I think that it's pashnish, does not fit this kid in our moisdus, our school. He's they're balei tshuva, this that. He's like, do they do anything wrong? No, but they're balei tshuva. He kept saying like, oh, they're balei tshuva. He's like, I don't understand. What's the problem? They're balei tshuva. They do everything. They fit into school. They're for your school. You know why you don't want them? He sat there and he smacked the table so hard. Gaiva, 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 gaiva. You guys have gaiva. You get down from your high horse. You're not all that you think you are. Come to me. We'll speak to you. I'll tell you exactly everything you need to work on. Come down from your high horse, and then you'll start looking for a shadchan, getting a shidduch, looking for the right girl. You start working on your marriage and improving for your wife.
Beautifully said. And with that,
One second. I just want to. What would you say? One message that you would say to single guys and single girls who are reaching out. What would you say is a good reason or the main reason for them to reach out to, let's say, your platform, you and your
Not
wife's
just
platform?
my platform. They can reach out to any platform. Yesterday, my wife got a phone call from Ricky Hafizov, Gabi Hafizov's mom.
Okay.
She does an amazing job with shadchanim, shidduchim. And she said, God bless her. She's like, listen, we have a beautiful platform. We have a WhatsApp group, and we have a whole bunch of people looking for love, looking for a relationship, looking to get married. Let's joint venture with your wife. She said, you have a very, very, very big platform. Everybody sees your instant. Like I started doing social media,
You're amazing at it.
and everybody
You're a
is
star.
Who inspired you?
you. Everybody,
You're a star.
every shout out to you, Ariel. 6-star watches. Everybody is looking at my content. So I said, why don't we show people how fun shidduchim can be?
Actually, that's a very good point.
It's pretty fun, bro. Imagine,
I
bro.
mean,
I went
it's
to.
serious.
You know,
It's serious.
I have something nice for the camera. It happened to me yesterday. I went to a wedding yesterday. I go to a lot of weddings, so I'm perfect for this shidduchim candidacy thingy, right? I'm at a wedding. They call in the bride's first cousins. Bro, there's like two brothers. They have 5 sons each, all not married.
How old are they?
One of them was 35 dentist. Another one was like 28 pharmacist. Another one was 25, just got engaged. But
Guys, if you want to know more about them, DM Shlomi.
no, but I'm just telling you, there is so many guys out there. I don't believe in the shidduch crisis. We need to help each other as a community.
There's no exposure. That's what it is.
There's no exposure. Exactly.
The numbers are
shidduchim
there. The numbers are there.
fun again.
Make
Make shidduchim fun again. I
Let's
like
go.
that. You're gonna use your Instagram.
100%.
For
That's what
good.
we're doing. Look, I posted a video yesterday. I'm like, guys, look, my wife became a shadchanit. Look who she chose. She chose me.
I love the
Come
confidence.
on. How can you not?
You
Talk
got
to
you,
my
you
wife.
went through a shidduch
Me?
Shadchan?
So how I found my wife. We have time to talk about it quickly or no?
very quickly.
We have a minute.
All right, how I found my wife is I went to a light blues bar mitzvah, Nati and light blue.
Abramov.
Nati Abramov. I went to his bar mitzvah. I had my phone in my jacket pocket over here, and every 5 minutes, my boob was getting a buzz. Somebody sent me a picture. I'm like, yo, what's going on? So while I'm singing, like Narkalai, I'm singing and I'm looking on my phone and I see my cousin Iris, David Niktalov's wife from Black Team, David Niktalov. She sends me a picture of a girl. She goes, do you know this girl? I'm like, no, who is she? She's very nice. She's beautiful, this and that. Amazing family. Get to know her. Okay, what do I do? How? What do I do? Do I send her, again, message on
nice song.
Instagram? Hey, what's up? Are you from Tennessee? Is it the only
You love
10 I
the
see?
10 I
Or did you fall? Did it hurt? What hurt? When you fell from heaven? No, bro. What I
So what
do?
did you do?
I called Richie Nectar. I'm like, yo, your wife has a first cousin or a second cousin. Her name is Michelle, Richie's wife. I'm like, I want to get to know her, bro. Can you please ask her mom if it's okay if I get her number? I want to just speak to her. And it came from a very serious perspective. She knew that I was there not to fool around. I got her mom involved. I was like, yo, listen, I'm trying to speak to this person. So it's very similar to Shadchanim. Very similar. Here's the number. Give her a call. That's it. I got the number. I texted her, hi, my name is Shlomi. It was a Sunday. I'm like, I hope everything is okay. If you're busy now, I understand. Let me know when's a good time to call you. And from then, Baruch Hashem, I have 2 kids. Why
There you
not?
go.
I didn't find her in a club. I didn't find her on Instagram and DM her. No, I saw her. I liked her. I didn't know how to approach her. So I had someone help me approach. That's where the Shadchanim come in.
Some shadchanim do more than that. They give us support along the way.
Okay, so
You
you don't need
talk
to
through
give
the
support
shadchan.
along the way. If you have any,
Support along the way is very.
you also give support along the way. Yeah, if you have
They
any
point out,
issues,
a lot
you
of
need
times
some
they
help.
point out.
There's a lot of things that girls want to point
Depends
out to
also
the guy.
how involved they
Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of
exactly.
things that girls want to point out to the guy, but they feel uncomfortable to point
Yes.
it out to the guy.
Yes,
So they
yes.
will just come to the shadchan, and I can come,
Preach,
and I can sit down
preach.
to you with you and tell you things that you need to hear.
Exactly.
That she's not allowed to tell you, and you will never know if it's
Exactly.
coming from her or if it's
Right.
coming
And
from
then the
me.
guy, one second, and go. What
And
happens
then the
is,
guy
one second, what?
starts opening up and giving you information that what he's looking for and what she's looking for, and then you just put them all together and say, yo, you guys are perfect for each other. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But
She's
sometimes,
attractive, you're attractive.
One second, I just want to. I know a couple that the guy and the girl went on a date, and the girl thought that the guy cursed, and the girl said no, and the guy called the shadchan and said, "Yo, give me another chance. You know, that's not me." So now, if it was up to just the girl would be like, "Yo, sayonara." But
Right,
now
right.
the shadchan pushed the girl like, "Listen,
Right.
give it another chance,"
Probably getting married.
and they're married,
Oh,
And they have 3 kids together.
Baruch Hashem.
happily married.
Happily married. Baruch Hashem.
Man.
Baruch Hashem.
Yeah.
Okay,
So definitely, yeah.
So-
I mean, a lot of people. When I personally, when I went dating, I didn't have my wife's number for the first 4 or 5 dates.
Yeah. Some people do that.
Directly through a shotgun. Everything is through the shotgun. They
Less
set
sticky.
it up,
Less sticky.
and it it made it
more
it-
serious.
It's serious. It's easier, and
Business,
it's,
business.
It's exactly it's business.
You remember that guy that was trying to speak to that girl? Remember? I don't want to say names. Remember?
Yeah.
don't say names.
I'm not saying names.
Yeah.
They were talking. They went out 2-3 times. He didn't get the person's number yet.
Right.
They both didn't feel a connection.
That's it. Easy out.
That's it. Easy out.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the right
Yeah.
thing.
And I just before we get into power rankings, in terms of podcasts or on Shidduchim, this is the only podcast to listen to.
Torah from Sinai.
In terms of where you
Are we the only podcast with a rabbi on?
I'm also a rabbi.
I don't know, but
Hello.
if you know what I'm referring to, then you know what I'm referring to.
And with that, we're gonna go with the power rankings. The power rankings, week number 8, week number 9, whichever way you want to slice it. But before we get to that, we have the player of the week. Sorry. Now, the player of the week,
It's got to be from light green.
this is a player that I decided as player of the week. And I'm going to let Mr. Ariel announce him.
It's Ariel.
Whoa.
Are you kidding me?
Israelov.
It's me.
Where's Ariel? What'd you do?
It's Ariel Israelov.
No.
77.
Show
Can
the
you-
stat
It
line.
cannot be-
Show the stat line.
Bro.
Okay, I'm gonna
Show
read
the
it out.
stat
I'm gonna
line.
read it out. Hold on a second. I'm gonna read out the stat.
Listen to the
Listen
stat
to the
line.
stats. Shlomi, you can lose your mind.
No, it's not all about points.
27 points,
Wow.
12 rebounds.
Wow.
The guy is 5'5", 12 rebounds, 13 assists,
You had a triple double?
13 steals,
What?
Wow.
2 blocks. He had a quadruple double. This might be the first time in Z League Omni Athletics history that we've had a quadruple double.
Who were you guys playing that game?
Pink.
Oh, they're the worst team. No.
I mean,
Apparently not.
Pink.
What was the score?
We beat them in overtime.
Which should we say? Should we not say?
What?
What's going on with the game?
There's a little bit of discrepancy.
Okay.
I don't think that's a. I mean, well, listen. If it happens, I'm glad to play them again. But I
No,
don't think
of
that's-
the rule, whatever it is. Anyways,
We played.
I want to give a big shout out. Before I found out about this stat line, it was going to be Coach Avi. He had a monster game. I think 33 points, 14 rebounds, 5
I
steals.
traded my blood, sweat, and tears for Coach Avi. I traded my brother Mikey for Coach Avi.
That was a great trade.
love
I'm
Avi.
gonna have to say
Avi,
he
I love
is.
you.
He's
Ozzy, I
one
love
win
you even
away
more.
from an MVP
How old
vote.
is he? How old is he?
I'm gonna give him some love there.
36 years old. The guy
He's
scored
been
30 plus
36
points
for
a
the
game.
past year and a half. Does that
Shar
make sense?
Shavzi people don't age.
I'm
lot
just
of
thinking
people
about it
don't
now.
age.
He's been 36 since he joined the league.
That's like
He's been 36 since he joined the league.
yeah.
That's like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
He doesn't
exactly.
age.
It doesn't age.
He
Maybe
goes,
he's 33 and he's
Yeah,
just saying
maybe he's
that.
30 years
he goes
old.
in a freeze chamber every night. You know.
Something's
Okay.
up with him, but
And
whatever.
play of the week?
Play of the week, we're gonna go with, and it's not. This is not even. I'm nominating this as of now the play of the year.
Really?
Ben Arambayev. He went so fast the camera didn't even see it. He spun cross the guy, drove in, up and under left-handed,
Wow.
like
Wow.
ridiculous. I don't know how he did it left-handed.
My tier
ridiculous.
7 locked him up. 18 points against us.
We're gonna talk about that,
We're gonna
but
get there. We're gonna
but
get
Ben
there.
Arambayev play of the week.
Eddie Fuzailov, I love you.
Power rankings. At number 16, we have Gold. Another
Honestly,
loss for Gold.
Gold is not 16.
Gold has
they're on
the
a
capability to be
game-
number 4.
They're on a 6-game losing
They
streak.
have 3 amazing
Capabilities
basketball IQ
are
players.
very, very good.
Amazing.
And I believe that people have potential. I've been saying this a lot. Some teams don't realize their potential till it's too late.
Aaron Matayev's got to wake up.
I don't know what it is with
Matayev's
that team.
doing everything
Aaron
in that
Matayv
team.
is doing great. I think his teammates
No,
have
he's
stepped up.
not. He's doing great, but
do
he
better.
can do much better.
He could, that's true.
Material.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's one of the top talents in the league, and I spoke to him, so I feel comfortable. I spoke to him, so I feel comfortable saying this on air. He's one of the top talents in the league, and his ceiling is much, much higher than what he's showing.
Yes.
Listen, until they start winning, they're at 16. At number 15, we're going to go with Pink. They're also, I mean,
They go toe-to-toe with
losing,
everybody,
but yeah,
they
it's
can't go
competitive.
over the edge.
They're competitive. I think that again, you need 5 players to get involved because if
Yeah.
I'm going to shut down your star,
Yeah. That's
who's going to bail out the team with a minute and a half left? Someone needs to score. If the star is getting double teamed, who's going to score? You need to have a
Moses Sadayev
5-man game.
guarantee is not going to go far like this, right? you got to have your players show up. Shout out for the confidence.
Didn't he
but-
guarantee that he's going to beat you guys?
Yes.
He
And
guarantees
then
he always
He
wins.
has a concession speech afterwards.
He's been guaranteeing every game for the past 2 seasons.
But you know what? Last time he did that against me, he won.
Again, a lot of talent in the pink team.
I respect the confidence.
Anyways, next.
14, we got light green. Mr. Shlomi himself.
Disagree.
I honestly, listen, I wanted to put you a little higher, but we had some big wins by teams a little bit higher than you.
Yellow. How are we on? How are we
15.
Can you explain your 14? Can
What's
you
the record?
explain to us
14.
what happened? You put Eddie Fuzailov on Ben Arambayev after he scored 44 points.
We played like a boxing one, you can call it. And I told Eddie, your job is not to shoot the ball. Your job is only to stick on Ben Arambayev. I don't care. You have 6 fouls. Use every single one.
And you had a full team.
I had a full team.
And so he started.
He started. I sat down. I'm the only captain. I mean, we love to sit. I love to watch my team.
You and Nisanov.
I love it. And my team needs a big man.
Yeah,
My
you need to
team
play
needs
more.
me.
You need to play more.
I need to play more. But if something is working, why change it?
So basically, you baited him to drive in and then doubled right away.
100%.
You did this
our
last time
defense
against
was great.
somebody. Who did you do this?
Our defense was amazing.
What was the score?
Last year. you did
And
the
shout
same
out to
thing.
Coach Avi. By the way, Coach Avi is an amazing, amazing assistant, bro. He helps me out big time.
He had a crazy pass.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's roll
yes,
that.
yes,
Like this,
yes,
like
yes.
this, like
That was
this.
a crazy pass.
No, he
Great.
full court.
behind
not even
the back.
looking.
Yeah, he
Everyone
just got the ball and
everyone
threw
was
it behind
telling
his
me,
back.
oh, listen, why did you trade for Ozzy and Avi? They're two hotheads. It's hard to deal with them. Yo, Ozzy is my boy. Ozzy's a dog.
He's awesome.
Ozzy is awesome. Coach Avi is the man.
Ozzy's a great defensive player also.
The best. Defensive player of the year, Ozzy, 100%.
Everybody was very skeptical
way-
of your team. They thought you were going to be the worst.
Bro, do me a favor. Look at my team. I got all-stars on my team. What are you talking about? Eddie Fuzailov? He locked up Ben Arambayev to 18 points?
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
And you guys can say, oh,
No,
you might,
Ben-
they
Ben
missed
only
the
had
two last.
18
They
Ben-
missed the 2 last free throws.
Ben only had.
And if
18
my
points
grandmother
against
had wings, she would fly.
I mean, they missed the last 6 free throws. They did.
us? So what?
I don't care.
So what?
So score next time.
Oh, hold on a second. I'm not discrediting that. What I'm saying is that it was a very close game. Light blue also choked.
I wanna-
Yellow.
No, they did
Yellow
not.
choked. They missed 6 of their last free throws.
I want to tell you something
about
crazy.
the loss. The
You want to hear
guy
something?
held
Zach,
back.
No, that's irrelevant.
Zach,
Yeah,
listen to this.
100%.
Before the draft, remember when I came to Michal and I switched picks with Michal? I'm like, Michal, I want to trade my pick for yours. I was gonna give him like the start of the 3rd or something. He's like, you know what? Okay, no problem. He made a pick with me. He made a trade with me because I was like, I want to pick up Ben Arambayev. So I told him I was gonna.
Oh, that's who you were gunning for?
I was going for Ben Arambayev, and I chickened out at the last minute. I'm like, listen, we're gonna make a trade in contingency that if Ben Arambayev is picked up, I get my pick back, right? He's like, okay, fine, mazal. So I had the capability of getting Ben Arambayev,
And you said
Mikey
no.
on my team.
Oh my God.
And last minute, I was like, you know what? My brother Mikey's like, let's not take Ben Arambayev. I'm like, you know what? I don't need Ben Arambayev. Like that. And I gave Michal Ben Arambayev. And then Michal came to me the other day. He's like, yo, you remember how you tried to take Ben Arambayev for me? Telling me, oh, he can't come to the
That
games.
was a big mistake.
You're going to
bro.
have to pick him up from his house. He doesn't have a car. You got to pick him up, this and that. I was saying anything I can possible to get Ben Arambayev on my side, bro. But whatever, it is what it is. God had a plan, and I made a nice, beautiful blockbuster trade with White. I traded my blood, sweat, and tears, Mikey Ali, and I got my man, Coach Avi, my fellow Sharshavzi, and Azaria.
At number 13, we're gonna go with
Eddie.
Maroon Rabbi. You guys won by 1, but against Gray, it was a big win.
There's a
That's
big
a
upset.
big, very big.
If we
Very
beat you
big
guys
one.
next week, we go over them, right?
Let's see what happens next week. I mean, again, this is the reason why Light Green was 14 because Maroon is 13. They won against a very good team.
They would have lost this. 13.
Maroon is a good
We
team.
played them zone, 2-3 zone, and it really, really helped. And our guys were we had if you see Maroon's offense was different that game, very different that game. We had plays and we were more
I
systematic.
mean, we only scored 50 points, 51
yeah, but
points.
still we
Well, I
felt
think it was the defense that helped you guys out.
also, but it felt flowing. It felt like everyone was comfortable. Everyone got their looks, like everybody, you know, it gave room for our guys to shine. Baruch Hashem.
You guys have chemistry and it's going to take you far. At number 12, we have Orange. Again, guys, I did not rank this. We have Shlomi over here. Shlomi, why do you think Orange is 12?
Because when we played you, we didn't have a full team. And
What does that have to do with that?
we didn't have a full team, and we beat you guys. But then you guys played light blue yesterday, and they blew us out by 50. So in your
Oh, yeah.
squad beat them. You guys are.
I saw you guys hired a coach.
No, you guys were good.
We
Who's the coach?
had a coach for we had Yuda Nisanov coming to us to coach the second half.
Wow.
It definitely helped. I will say this about we'll talk about light blue when it comes to light blue.
But I'm just saying, but it's funny, I was speaking to my brother because Elishaev also called me and said, yo, can you come coach? I'm like, listen, out of respect to Abe, I'm not going to come coach against light blue, whatever, this, that. So I was speaking to my brother. I'm like, all you're doing is like, listen, it's nothing disrespectful against light blue. It's just Orange. They have a very good coach, in my opinion. So like, I just want to help them out, help Orange out, and like give them a coaching. It wasn't anything against.
Yeah, it definitely
light
helped.
blue.
It definitely helped. At number 11, we're gonna go with blue. They lost to White. Yes, Yaakov Chaimov wasn't there. Yes, Mikey Yonatan wasn't there. They should have been in that game. It wasn't close. They lost by like 10 or something.
Wow.
So we're gonna have blue. It looked like they were stepping up. They had a big game last week. But we need to see a little more from them. At number 10, black. Nothing to talk about.
When are they going to play already?
Jason's in Israel.
Jason's in
Okay,
Israel.
how
They're
long?
moving a lot of
Everybody
games.
played 8 games. They played 2
And then
games.
they had-
Four
I
games.
heard they want to play triple headers.
Ariel Pinchaso was out, so they moved more games. They have days where they're playing 2 games.
I don't know.
They have to. I don't
Okay,
know.
good luck to them.
There's nothing to talk about because I have. They're 2-2. We're 4-5. Like
What's going on?
we're different
Played
seasons.
9 games already.
We played 9
Yeah.
games. What's your record?
5-2.
Yo, you're fine.
Oh, 7. Okay.
But they played 4 games. Great.
At number 9, we have yellow. They dropped this week
I disagree
because
with you. They're
of.
supposed to be 9
What you think they should be higher or lower?
lower.
Lower. I listen.
I think maroon can be yellow.
If you lock up Ben Arambayev, what's next?
Guarantee win.
They have Johnny Shimonov.
Yeah,
Okay, he's
nothing.
on and off.
What
He's
can he
on
do?
and off.
No, he.
I love Johnny
he can do a lot.
Shimonov. He's a great guy. By the way,
Guy's doing 20-20 a game.
he's
bro.
amazing.
No,
he's
he's
great. They
a
have 2
dog.
tier 1s in their team, but Johnny is not the guy who can.
I think we need to see more involvement from that team. That's it. That's what it comes down to. We need to see more
They
involvement.
need guidance. They need chemistry.
Chemistry,
Ben can't do everything.
involvement. Ben cannot do everything on his own. He needs to get his team involved. It's his responsibility to do that. And they have potential to be top 5. They're
Next
really
season,
good.
It's going to be crazy.
They're really good.
He's going to be amazing.
At number 8, we have white. They beat blue this week, but apparently there's an injury to Leo, so I'm not really sure what's
Watch
going on.
to you, Leo. We love
I
you.
wish you all the best. I don't know
May
what
everything
this
goes
means yet
successful
until
for
it's
you.
happened, so we'll figure that out. At number 7, we have light blue. They
7?
Much
At
higher.
number
I
7.
think much higher.
now let me explain.
What happened to them?
Zachy, who let
At-
you do this?
Here's the advanced insight.
I mean,
I'm
listen,
surprised
they,
they didn't
they,
put yourself number 1, Zach.
they lost to the number. I don't rate myself. You didn't, so that's number 1. They lost to the number 12 team last night. Now hold on a second.
I thought this was
hold
supposed
on.
to be advanced analytics.
Yes, I'll give you that.
OKC
I'll
lost
give you
to-
that
Backwards,
advanced.
backwards
I will give you
analytics.
that advanced analytics.
OKC lost to the Pacers in like game 3 or something. It's normal to have a
Light
bad
blue's
game, guys.
strength is the press. Okay, their half court offense is not good.
Just give the ball an 8 and get
Their
out of the way.
half-court offense is
Anybody who wants to know how to
respectfully
beat that press, you
not
go on
good.
YouTube and you watch. They'll show you how to beat the press.
If you
I figured
figure out
that
a
out
way-
after losing by 52.
Listen, if you don't have an answer for the press, they're going to destroy you. They are the number one team. But if you have an answer to the press,
That's it.
they're really going to struggle. Now, at times last night, we did not have an answer and they made us pay, right? So their press is really good. But when we figured out answers, we made them pay. We had a lot of layups.
And they don't play the press
And-
anymore. They play a 3-2 or a 2-3.
No, they press second half. Not sure why. Maybe I don't know. They don't press first half. Second half comes. They shock teams and they play a press. They were more aggressive than we anticipated. So our game plan to break the press is a little bit different. What they do is they bring 3 guys in the front right away. So it's very hard to get to the second level. But once you get to the second level, they're
Easy pick.
done.
They have 3 guys in the
Black-
back.
No,
No,
they have
not
one
two.
guy in the
Two.
black.
No, I'm saying if they bring 3 guys up front to the front of the court, to the front court, right, to the back court, and then you somehow pass the ball to the middle of the court, to the half court area,
They have one guy left.
4 against 2.
No. They have 3 here, right? By the inbounder. They have 1 and 1. So for some odd reason, you can get the ball here. This guy has to come here. Get the ball to the other side. Another. Just there has to
Give
be
and
2
go.
guys here.
Give and go.
Then you have an open lane versus Mike on the floor. We got fouled out yesterday. So that's the game plan. That they're gonna struggle. If you know how to get to the second level, they will struggle. Black last year when they pressed, they didn't do that. They were a little more conservative, so it was a little harder to break. But if you don't play well, they have 3 guys right there by the inbounder. So if you're not playing that well, it's going to be a turnover, layup.
A mess.
So they have an amazing press. The reason why I have them at 7 is because if teams figure that out and break their press, there's a lot of film on it, they're going to struggle. Half court, they're not a 7. They're lower. At number 6, we have Green.
They lost this week, right?
Yeah, big struggles lately.
Light-
Green, again, the reason why light blue is lower is
your
because
rankings. It's your rankings.
their
It's your
strength
rankings. It's your
is their press. You break the press, they're going to struggle, in my opinion. At number 6, we have Green. Green is also struggling lately. I think they'll figure it out. I hope they do. They're a good team.
I think they have an injury with Kaykov.
No, he's back.
He's
No, he
back.
played.
back.
They had a whole
I thought
team,
he
think.
sprained his ankle.
He did. He's back.
They had a whole
Wow.
team. They're struggling with ball movement,
Yes.
getting people involved. Surprisingly, they did that very well in the beginning of the season.
Yes.
And they were a big surprise team. They were moving the ball very, very, very well. And everyone was getting into it. Us is playing great defense.
And now they got stagnant.
Yeah, it looks like it's just becoming a 1-2 man show. It's not going to work.
Yes.
You think
Number
they got
5.
better with that thing they had? Johnny Aronov hurt his leg. He's getting married on Sunday. Shout out to Johnny
100%.
Aronov.
Ben Koina's brother's great.
Ben Coyne
He's
better.
aggressive. He's everything you want in a big man. Is he like a crazy scorer big man? No, but he'll get you 10, 15 a night. He's good. He's very good. I think it's a big upgrade. At number 5, we have Purple. Mr. Ariel Nisanov.
They're much
Purple. I mean, you guys struggled against Pink, which is a little surprising. I think again, similar to what do you call them? Light Blue. Purple's half court offense isn't amazing. It's their
Elishaev show.
It's their steals. No, it's just steals. The steals that they put on, they have a crazy aggressive
Defense.
and the steals they put on. If you're not patient with them, they're gonna make you pay. But if you are patient, you're gonna figure out a way to break it because double teaming on a man is not gonna work. If you're smart enough to break it, when you play rushed,
Yeah, that's what happens.
it's you're gonna get a lot of steals. 13 steals. Ariel Israel. So, Purple is number 5. At number 4, we have Navy. Navy is finally playing to what we all anticipated before the season. We all thought Navy was number 1.
Right.
They struggled a bit, but I think they're on a 3-game winning streak.
He's Elon, right? Elishaev?
Mhm.
Yeah, Elon, Gabby, they're dominating games. Like they're winning by
What is
20
it?
points.
Is there
Draft,
defense?
I
Is there
gave
defense?
Elon my third round
Offense,
pick.
defense, both.
I switched with
Both.
my third round pick. I was going to pick up Daniel Yushivayev. And Elon's like, don't worry, no one's going to pick up Daniel Yushivayev in the third round. He's going to go in the 4th. I'm like, okay, fine. And that screwed up my rotation. I would have had Yosef Fuzailov. No, I would have had Remy, Mikey, Daniel Yush, Johnny Yakubov. I would have had a much stronger team.
You went to like plan D on your team.
Baruch Hashem, I fixed myself.
I mean,
Yeah.
it worked out. You guys are playing well.
If there's a will, there's a way. Don't forget.
At number 3, they didn't play this week. We have Red. Very hot team. I think the record is like 6-2. They're playing really well.
Make sure they're ready for me.
But they didn't play this week. Not much to be said.
Alex,
Great
get
team. At number
ready.
2, we have Gray.
I don't believe Gray is number 2. We almost beat them. They should be number 10 or 12.
Listen,
But they're a good team.
I don't think Gray is a top 5 team, but in this season, when you play with a high level of chemistry, you're gonna win games. You're gonna beat teams that are not playing with a high level of chemistry. So talent will only take you so far. You need to have the chemistry to realize the talent. Gray is playing really well. Against Maroon, I don't know. I guess they struggled a bit against the zone. They won by 1 point, right? But Gray has been playing very well this whole season. The first loss with Eli Yakubov, first one. So that's where the number 2. Let's see if it's sustainable. I don't know. We've seen teams go on runs and not. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go lower. At number 1, we have Teal. Another win. Again, defending champs. These guys, it's a 5-man show.
Yeah.
And everyone steps up. Big shout out, by the way, Alex Katanov. 31 rebounds last night.
Wow.
You know that?
Great.
31. I mean, how do you miss 31 shots?
Against?
You know what I mean? 31 rebounds. They play against Yellow.
Yellow.
They have no big man.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny Shimonov.
He doesn't play big.
The guy averages 20 rebounds a game.
No, he doesn't. Not against us.
31 rebounds the guy had. So big shout out to Alex Katanov.
We're such a good team. After we beat Yellow, we took Johnny Shimonov to dinner.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a beautiful table.
Okay, question for you, Shlomi.
Yes.
3 questions. We're gonna ask 3 questions and 3 options. Okay, we're gonna spitball quickly. Top 3 for championship.
Top 3 for a championship?
Yeah.
Well, defending champs 100%.
Teal.
Teal.
Next.
I think that the whatchamacall, what's that team? Elon Elishaev's team
Navy.
has a chance to be top, and I think light blue.
Light blue. Okay.
Yeah.
And top 3 for MVP.
There's no top 3. There's only one. It's Coach Avi.
Okay. So if Coach Avi left the league, who would pick 2 other people?
Ozzy.
Wow.
Okay, and one more.
Eddie Fuzailov.
Bro, one second. How do you pick 3 MVPs on your team but don't put your team in the finals?
I don't put my team in the finals because I don't like to liftoach pela satan.
Yeah, but you put 3 people for MVP.
MVP is okay. It's not
on them.
important.
That's on them.
It's on them. Finals is me. I want my sign.
Banner.
You already
The banner.
have. You already have
I
one.
know I got it. I know. I want another one.
With your name on
With
it.
my name on it.
Okay.
He wants to be as a player.
As a
Player. And
but really, for MVP, Ariel Zrelov, 100%. Coach Avi, 1,000,000%. And the third one I will give to, I don't think Jason's MVP anymore.
I mean, he hasn't
We don't
played in
know.
like
We
a
don't.
month.
Nobody knows.
I don't know. For whatever I see right now, I don't think so.
You don't see anything now.
Yeah.
There's nothing
for
to see.
For sure, Ariel Israelov and Coach Avi, and one more. I don't know. It's coming out. It's slipping out of my
Okay,
head.
for 3 for DPOY.
Defensive Player of the Year has to be
Eddie Fuzailov. Eddie Fuzailov.
not
Eddie Fuzailov.
Not Eddie Fuzailov. Eddie Fuzailov could be, but Gabi Hafizov,
Okay.
he's good. Johnny Barkov,
Yes.
Daniel Yusupov.
And Danny Supov. Okay. There's
Not Ozzy.
No.
Ozzy's a great defender.
Shlomi
Ozzy-
Elishaev.
Ozzy's a great defender, but I'd rather him be MVP.
Okay.
Chodesh Tov, everybody.
We're gonna have
Chodesh
We're gonna have
Tov.
another award. I'm gonna give another award.
Zagabaro.